Get those stomachs rumbling, because today we are going deep, deep into Tokyo's food scene. You lucky ducks, you've got 2 weeks in this culinary wonderland, and we're going to make sure you hit every single foodie highlight.
Tokyo really is a dream come true for anyone who loves to eat. You know, it's this amazing mix of super old traditions and like the newest, most innovative food you can imagine.
I am so ready for this. And listeners, trust me, this is not just like a boring list of dishes, okay? We're giving you like the backstory, the insider tips, the whole experience.
Exactly. By the time we're done with this deep dive, you'll be ordering like a local, I promise. But first, gotta cover the basics. Your food adventure, it all starts when you land, right? Either Narita, that's NRT, or Haneda, HND.
Right off the bat. Okay, so before you even think about that first bowl of ramen, first thing you got to grab is an icy card, like a Suka or a Pasmo.
Yeah. These are your lifesavers, seriously. They make getting around on the subways and buses, even some vending machines, totally painless.
And the Tokyo subway system is legendary. You can get anywhere so fast, it's kind of mind-blowing. Which just means more time for eating.
Right. 100%. Speaking of, let's talk about the good stuff. We're talking iconic Tokyo eats, the things that make this city a legend for foodies.
Okay, hit me. What's first?
Got to start with sushi, right? But Tokyo sushi, it's not just about, how fresh the fish is. It's this whole other level of dedication. The chefs, the way they cut the fish, the flavors, it's unbelievable.
Yeah, it's like art you can eat. But Tokyo's also like ramen central, right?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, countless styles of ramen, everyone with its own broth, noodles, toppings, rich, porky tonkotsu, lighter shoyu, shio. There's something for everyone.
And don't forget, slurp those noodles.
Yeah.
It's not rude. It actually means you're enjoying it.
Totally. All right, now what comes to mind when you think crispy, golden brown deliciousness?
Tonkatsu. Oh man, that perfectly breaded pork cutlet, it's a must-try. So simple, but so good.
Again, it's all in the details, Good quality pork, those panko breadcrumbs for the crunch, the way they fry it.
Yeah, it's a whole art form.
Yeah.
And speaking of crispy, we got to talk about tempura. There's something so magical about perfectly fried seafood and veggies.
Tempura is all about that precision and skill. Light, airy batter, perfectly cooked ingredients. Every bite just explodes with flavor. And it's not just seafood. The vegetable tempura is amazing, too.
Okay, now let's switch it up, something more casual. Yakitori. Smoky, grilled skewers, perfect for a quick bite or a late-night snack.
Yakitori is cool because they use every part of the chicken. You got your breast meat, thigh meat, but also hearts, gizzards. Each skewer is like a little adventure.
And the perfect drink to go with it, seikar.
You know it. People call it rice wine, but it's actually brewed more like beer. And just like wine, there are tons of different kinds of sake, each with its own flavor.
Yeah, I love how seikin can be light and floral or like rich and earthy. It goes with so many things.
And that reminds me, Tokyo's food scene is great for everyone. Vegan, gluten-free, any dietary needs. You'll find tons of delicious options. No worries there.
That's good to know. Okay, so let's get into the neighborhoods. Tokyo's got so many different areas, each with its own unique foodie vibe. Right?
Sure. Let's start with Shibuya. Famous for that crazy intersection, Shibuya Crossing, but also packed with cool cafes and like international food from everywhere.
Shibuya's definitely got that energy. Then you have Shinjuku, the heart of the city, where you'll find Michelin-starred places right next to those hole-in-the-wall ramen spots.
Shinjuku is like a foodie playground, seriously. You could spend days there and not even scratch the surface.
And for a splurge, there's Ginza. High-end boutiques, fancy restaurants, the works.
Ginza is where you go for like peak Japanese cuisine, incredible sushi, or maybe a kaiseki meal, which is this multi-course seasonal feast.
Now, seafood lovers, listen up. You absolutely cannot miss the Tsukiji Outer Market.
Even though they moved the inner wholesale market, the outer market is still amazing. Seafood vendors, restaurants, shops, it's a sensory overload.
And if you want that traditional historic vibe, there's Asakusa, temples, street food, classic Japanese snacks.
Asakusa is a great place to step back in time and experience a different side of Tokyo. Love it.
So much to see, even just within Tokyo itself. But what if our listener wants to, get out of the city for a day trip?
Great idea. There's
Yeah.
so much to discover, just a short train ride away. And of course, amazing food everywhere you go.
I'm already picturing myself on a bullet train zooming towards adventure.
First stop, Hakone, a mountain resort town, incredible views of Mount Fuji, and those famous hot springs.
Hakone sounds so peaceful. What kind of food should we be looking for there?
Hakone is known for hodo noodles. They're these thick, flat udon noodles, totally unique to the region. After a soak in a hot spring, hodo is the perfect thing.
Okay, next on the day trip list, we have Nikko. Historic temples and shrines, beautiful nature.
Nikko is a feast for the eyes and the stomach. You gotta try yuba. It's a delicacy made from tofu skin. Really unique.
Yuba, interesting. And lastly, we've got Kamakura. Coastal town, chill vibes, and of course that giant Buddha statue.
Kamakura is a great escape from the city. Try the shirasudon while you're there. It's a rice bowl topped with these tiny white bait fish, a local specialty.
Okay, day trips are sorted, but let's be real, Tokyo can be pricey. How can our listeners enjoy all this incredible food without spending a fortune?
No worries, Tokyo's actually got amazing value, especially when it comes to food. One of my favorite tips is to go for the lunch sets. They call them teishoku.
Oh yeah, Tishoku. The amount of food you get for the price is crazy.
Exactly. And the quality is usually fantastic. Great way to try different dishes without, breaking the bank.
And then you've got those department store food halls, the Dipachika.
Depachika are foodie heaven. So much prepared food, beautifully made bento boxes, amazing pastries. Grab lunch or stock up on snacks, it's the best.
All right, before we go any further, gotta address the elephant in the room. Japanese etiquette. Any dining customs our listeners should know about?
Absolutely. Japanese dining etiquette is about showing respect. Respect for the food, the chef, and the people you're eating with.
Like what we said about slipping noodles.
Exactly. Slurping means you're enjoying it. And always say itadakimasu before you start eating and gochiso-sama deshita after you're done to show gratitude.
Love those little phrases. They make it feel so special. What about tipping?
You don't tip in Japan, actually. It can even be considered rude, so no need to worry about that.
One less thing to think about. What about chopsticks? Any big no-nos there?
Yeah, don't stick your chopsticks straight up in your rice bowl. It's like a funeral thing. And never pass food from chopstick to chopstick. That's also a no-no.
Good to know. We want our listeners to be respectful and have a great experience.
For sure. Most importantly, relax and enjoy. Japanese people are super welcoming and love sharing their food and culture.
Soak it all in. Okay, we've covered a lot of ground in this first part of our Tokyo food adventure, but there's so much more to discover.
Stick with us for part 2. We'll be diving into some hidden gems and off-the-beaten-path food experiences that will blow your mind.
Welcome back, food adventurers. Okay, so we've covered some of the Tokyo classics, but Tokyo's food scene is so massive, there's got to be way more to discover, right?
Oh, yeah, totally. I mean, what we've talked about so far, that's just the tip of the iceberg. There's a whole world of hidden gems and local favorites that most tourists never even hear about.
Okay, now you're talking. I love finding those authentic spots, the places where you can, really feel the city's vibe. Where should our intrepid food explorer head to first for that kind of experience?
All right, let's talk Yokocho alleys. Picture this. Narrow, winding alleyways packed with tiny little bars and eateries, each with its own unique character.
Yokocho alleys. They sound kind of mysterious. Are they actually hidden, or have they become a touristy thing now?
Some of them have definitely become more well-known, but they still have that authentic atmosphere. A great example is Omoid Yokocho, which means Memory Lane, near Shinjuku Station.
Memory Lane, that's such a cool name. What kind of food can you find there?
Omoid Yokocho is famous for its yakitori stalls and bars. Many of them have been there for decades. It's where salarymen go after work, unwind with some skewers and beer. It's like a glimpse into the real Tokyo.
I can practically smell the grilled yakitori already. Sounds like a sensory overload, but in a good way.
It is, and each yokocho has its own personality, Nanbe Yokocho in Shibuya, that one's known for trendy bars and izakayas, popular with a younger crowd.
So if our listeners looking for something a bit more, hip and modern, Nanbe Yokocho is the place to be.
Yeah, exactly. And for a totally different experience, head to Ameya Yokocho in Ueno. It's a crazy market street, a mix of food stalls, shops selling everything you can imagine, and just this, buzzing energy.
Wow, exploring Tokyo's Yokocho alleys sounds like a must-do. It's like each one is a tiny little world of food and culture.
Yeah, totally agree. And speaking of unique food experiences, there are some lesser-known dishes that deserve some attention, things that might surprise our listeners.
Ooh, I love hidden gems. Tell me more. What kind of Tokyo specialties are we talking about?
Have you ever heard of manjayaki?
Manjayaki, now what's that?
It's kind of like a savory pancake, but you cook it on a hot griddle right at your table, and you can add all sorts of ingredients to it.
That sounds fun, like interactive dinner. What kind of ingredients are we talking about?
Cabbage, seafood, meat, whatever you like, really. It can get a little messy, but it's delicious, and it's a great way to, get involved in the cooking process.
Okay, I'm intrigued. Where's the best place to try manjayaki?
Head to the Tsukushima district. They call it Manja Street for a reason. Tons of manjayaki restaurants there, each with their own special twists.
Tsukishima. Got it. Now, we talked about some iconic dishes before, but is there anything else that's like truly unique to Tokyo? Something most people wouldn't know about?
There's this dish, Fukagawa meshi, that's often overlooked but totally worth trying. It's a clam and rice dish, originates from the Fukagawa district of Tokyo.
Fukagawa meshi, that's a new one. What's so special about it?
It's a simple dish, but the combination of fresh clams, rice, and this flavorful broth, it's just so comforting and delicious. A real taste of old Tokyo.
Okay, I'm adding Fukagawa meshi to my list. Now, no food journey through Tokyo would be complete without diving into the world of Japanese sweets, right?
Oh, you're so right. Tokyo is a paradise for anyone with a sweet tooth. Traditional Japanese sweets, modern, innovative desserts, you name it.
All right, bring on the sugar rush. What are some must-try sweets our listeners should be on the lookout for?
Gotta start with mochi. Those chewy rice cakes, they come in every flavor you can imagine, from classic red bean paste to seasonal fruit.
I love how mochi can be sweet or savory. It's such a versatile treat. What else is there?
Then there's wagashi, traditional Japanese sweets that are often served with tea. They're seriously works of art, beautifully made with natural ingredients like red bean paste, agar-agar, rice flour.
Wagashi sounds so elegant, almost too pretty to eat.
I know, right? But you gotta try them. And for a more modern twist, Tokyo's got tons of patisseries and cafes that blend Japanese flavors with French techniques.
Oh, that sounds amazing, like fusion desserts. I can already picture these delicate, intricate pastries.
And we can't forget about matcha. That vibrant green tea powder is everywhere in Tokyo. Traditional tea ceremonies, matcha ice cream, cakes, lattes, even savory dishes.
Matcha's having a moment for sure. I love that earthy, slightly bitter flavor. It's so unique.
Yeah, and so versatile. You'll see it used in all sorts of creative ways in Tokyo.
Okay, I am officially getting hungry. We've covered so much ground, from hidden alleys to unique dishes and now sweet treats. Any other insider tips or strategies our listeners should know when it comes to navigating Tokyo's food scene?
Great question. One thing to remember is that a lot of restaurants in Tokyo specialize in just one dish or type of cuisine. So if you see a place with a long line, chances are they're known for doing that one thing exceptionally well.
Ah, that explains the lines. It makes sense that people would queue up for the best of the best.
Exactly. And it's usually a good sign. Another tip is to, be prepared for some language barriers. English is becoming more common in Tokyo, but it's always a good idea to learn a few basic Japanese phrases or have a translation app handy.
I always try to learn a few phrases when I travel. It's respectful, and it can really come in handy.
Definitely. And those translation apps can be lifesavers.
That's reassuring. I think sometimes those language barriers can feel a bit daunting, but it sounds like people in Tokyo are very helpful.
Oh yeah, for sure. And most importantly, be open to trying new things. Tokyo's food scene is all about exploration and discovery, so step outside your comfort zone and embrace the unexpected.
I love that. Embrace the adventure. We've covered so much. Hidden alleys, unique dishes, sweet treats, strategies for navigating the city. I'm feeling inspired and ready to eat my way through Tokyo.
Me too. And guess what? There's more to come. In the final part of our deep dive, we'll wrap things up with some practical tips and resources to help you make the most of those 2 weeks in Tokyo. Stay tuned.
All right, foodies, welcome back to our Tokyo adventure. We've explored markets, alleys, even taken some awesome day trips, all in the name of deliciousness.
And now, in this final part, we're going to give you the tools, the knowledge to make those 2 weeks in Tokyo truly epic.
Think of it as your foodie survival guide, packed with tips, apps, all those little details that can make a big difference.
First up, navigation. Got to make the most of your time. Hit all those culinary hotspots.
Okay, so Google Maps, pretty standard travel essential, right?
Oh, yeah. Google Maps is a must. But it's more than just directions in Tokyo. You can search for restaurants by cuisine, neighborhood, price range, even see photos and reviews.
Like, it's a personal food guide right in your pocket. Are there any other apps, like, specifically for Tokyo's food scene?
Definitely. Tabelog is amazing. It's kind of like the Yelp of Japan, but way more detailed, like focused on the food itself. You can filter by super specific stuff, like the type of broth in your ramen.
Whoa, Tabelog sounds intense. I can see myself getting lost in that app for hours. Anything else?
Guru Navi is another good one. It's got restaurant listings and reviews, but it's really good for finding local specialties and regional dishes. So if you want to try something really authentic off the beaten path, Guru Navi's your friend.
All right, Guru Navi, noted. Now, we all know food is super visual. What about Instagram?
Oh, Instagram's a treasure trove for food inspiration in Tokyo. Search hashtags like hashtag Tokyo food, hashtag Japanese food, or even specific dishes. You'll find amazing photos, hidden gems, tons of recommendations.
I love finding those under-the-radar spots on Instagram. It's like having a local foodie friend show you around.
And don't forget to ask the locals, too. Your hotel concierge, shopkeepers, even people on the train. Everyone in Tokyo loves food, and they're happy to share their favorite places.
You never know what you'll discover.
Right.
Okay, let's talk logistics. Restaurant reservations, should our listeners book ahead, or is it pretty easy to get tables?
Good question. For those super popular places, the ones with Michelin stars or tiny little restaurants, yeah, book in advance, like weeks or even months ahead if you can.
Got it. So special occasion meals, reservations are key. But what about more casual spots?
Most casual places you can just walk in, especially if you go during off-peak hours.
Yeah,
But if you see a line out the door, it's probably worth the wait.
that's true. Long lines usually mean good food. Now, last but not least, gotta talk about the budget. Tokyo can be pricey. Any final tips for saving money so our listeners can enjoy all this amazing food without going broke?
Definitely. Okay, first, remember those Tishoku lunch sets we talked about?
Yeah, amazing value.
Exactly. And the quality is awesome. It's a great way to get a full meal without spending a ton.
What about those depachica, those department store food halls?
Oh yeah, Tipichika are a lifesaver. So much affordable, delicious prepared food. Perfect for a quick lunch, a picnic, or stocking up on snacks.
Depachica are like a foodie's dream come true. And don't forget about the convenience stores.
Convenience stores in Japan are crazy good. You can find legit meals there, onigiri, bento boxes, amazing instant ramen, even decent coffee.
I love how you can actually find a good meal at a convenience store in Japan. Okay, I think we've covered it all. Apps, reservations, budgeting, even convenience stores. Our listeners are ready to tackle Tokyo's food scene like pros.
Totally. One last thing. Remember, Tokyo's food scene is always changing. New restaurants, new trends, new dishes popping up all the time. So be open to trying new things and embrace the adventure.
Well said. Get out there, explore, have fun. And don't forget to send us photos of all those amazing dishes you discover. Happy eating, everyone.